Hey, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here tonight. We talk about Generation X. Woohoo, woohoo. With some boomer thoughts and some millennial thoughts, maybe even some Gen Z. I doubt any alphas will be here. But yeah. So Christine in the house, Mumsy in the house, and Chalet in the house. Woo! Yay! So I actually did have a whatchamacallit, a little image, a photo. Let me see here. And I thought that could get us started talking. Let me see where I saved it. Oh, here. Ready for another day. All right. There it is. So let me share it with you all. All right. So, yeah, I found that a new day in the USA. Yeah, my day's ready to end. That's all right. It's a new day on YouTube. And so I found this kind of interesting. And so what we've got here are the different generations going across the top that have columns. And then the rows are different aspects of things and how it goes across. So let's see here. I know you guys can't probably see it so clearly, so I will help. I mean, in fact, look at that. Okay, so let's go like that. So the first category here on the side is slang terms. The builder generation, so that's the one that was born before World War II. The ones who were the parents of the baby boomers. I've never heard them called builders. I've heard them called the silent generation, I think. And the one before them was like the greatest generation or something. The ones that fought in World War I, and then the silent generation. But anyway, they're calling them builders. So this is the parents of the baby boomers. We prefer proper English, if you please. Baby boomers would say, be cool, peace, groovy, way out. So they're kind of capitalizing on the hippie thing and beatnik kind of stuff. What's before builders? Oh, okay. Gotcha covered. Generation X, dude, ace, as if, rad, wicked. One I would add there is awesome. Mom, do you want to add any baby boomer slang? What would have been slang? Because I don't see the Rat Pack saying groovy. You know what I mean? As if, that's 90s. Yeah. But the tail end of the Generation X is, yeah. No, you don't have anything to add. Okay. Generation Y, which is the millennials. I don't know why they're naming them like this. Okay, the millennials, bling, funky, dough, which came from The Simpsons, fauches, I don't even know that, and what's up, again from a TV commercial, said. In Gen X, we said said. Don't remember saying said. When did sick come in? Who started saying sick? Was that the millennials, or was that, because I'm at the beginning of Gen X. So it might have been the end of Gen X or the millennials that started saying sick for everything. Oh, that's sick. I don't have that in here. Suck, we said. We said suck. Yeah, that's true. That was part of it. Fat thumb. Oh, you have a fat thumb as your tongue. Yeah, I knew you meant said. Okay, so Gen Z, fam. Yeah. You know another one they say? Bae. I hate bae. As in BAE for babe, dropping off the second B in babe and calling their girlfriends bae. I hate that. Oh my gosh. Just like our parents hated our slang. The burn treatment. Okay, Gen Z saying fam, goat, as in the greatest of all time. Yeah, I still. Yaz Queen and Slay. Gen Alpha, who are teenagers now, saying lit, yeet, hundo, oof, earn, RN, and IDRC. I don't know. I don't know. Me too, Bay. Yeah, I hate that. All right, social markers. So this is where I grabbed the title for the show tonight. As far as like what news events um, do you think like defined our generation, right? So for the builders, it was World War II. Oh, okay, yeah, I would buy that. Baby boomers, the moon landing in 1969. You know something else? Mom, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Kennedy assassination, I think that would have also been very significant. I mean, they could only pick one, right? So that's why we're here talking about it. I think, and also for the builders, the Great Depression. How are they saying that this builder? Oh, okay, I never mind. Yeah, they were born in 1925. They lived through the Great Depression of the 30s, and then World War II brought them out of it. So, yes, Mumsy, a baby boomer, says yes. The Kennedy assassination was big. What about the "I Have a Dream" speech? That was a pretty big news thing that happened. The moon landing, of course, was huge. And I think it's something that everybody was watching. If you have any additional things, please put them in the comments below if you're watching this as a replay. Generation X, all right, the stock market crash of 1987. Chalet, were you even aware that there was a stock market crash of 1987? Is that something that all Gen Xers like? That was a moment in our generation. Yeah, no, no. Maybe there were some impacts from that like affected us, but that as a like, oh my gosh, look what just happened. We're all glued to our TVs, whatever. I would almost think if I had to pick something socially, I would say MTV the start of MTV for us early ones. The younger ones, they MTV was already in place. Why would you care? What about computers? Yeah. Does it have technology as a thing? Just music devices and iconic toys. It doesn't actually list. Yeah, but the incoming computers was big. I don't know that there was like a news event about computers. Reagan getting shot. Yeah. You mean Reagan as a whole, or when Reagan got shot? Because the other things were pretty much, well, except for World War II, that was like 4 years. But the moon landing was specific. Kennedy being assassinated was specific. Yeah, when Reagan got shot. Yeah. And you agree with MTV. Yep. I mean, when the Breakfast Club came out, can we say that? The Breakfast Club, that was like huge for us. I mean, because we all identified with the Breakfast Club. Chernobyl happening, yes, yes. I mean, that really shook it. What about the wall coming down? And I don't mean Pink Floyd, right? If you're Gen X, you know what I'm talking about with the wall coming down. If you're not Gen X, okay, Mumsy probably knows, baby boomers will know, but younger might not know what I'm talking about. We're talking about the Berlin Wall, which basically signified the end of the Cold War. I have grapes. So we had some significant news events. I think that as a generation, we can identify with happening. All right, but not the stock market crash. Just because it happened during our generation doesn't mean it had an impact on our psyche. So now in Generation Y, they say September 11th, 2001. I think we can all recognize that date as being when the World Trade Center's towers were hit with airplanes, and it did usher in, it changed everything, for sure. Especially in airports. Airport, you used to be able, before that, you used to be able to go to the gate to send somebody, to say goodbye to someone, and then after September 11th, no, only the passenger with the ticket was being allowed in. Of course, they all had tickets. How would that have stopped it? You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, they were all old enough to remember that. That would be pretty big. I mean, tear down this wall. Yeah, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Yeah, say no to drugs. Yeah, and the whole MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, that had not existed before. That came to be during our generation. So the whole well, yeah, there you go. You got it. I was thinking it and saying it as you were typing it. We're on the same brainwave tonight. All right. Gen Z, GFC 2008. Does anybody know what that is? GFC? Let me put that in here. GFC 2008. Global financial crisis. That's like the stock market one. Give me a break. No, they're not interested in that. No, they're probably interested in Miley Cyrus on the Wrecking Ball or something. As if. Yeah. So what would the Gen Zs now say was something newsworthy that happened? And well, actually, they're saying Gen Alpha is COVID. But you know what? I think COVID probably impacted Gen Zs more than Gen Alpha. I mean, okay, in the long term, the Gen Alpha is being shut down from school, because they're in primary school. They're well, in secondary school as well, through high school, from K to 12. They didn't get to go to their school. They didn't get to have graduation. I mean, graduation probably would have been Gen Z. Maybe Gen Alpha 3 years ago. If you were born in 2010, no, you'd only be 13. No, well, or 10 years old. If 2020 is when they're counting COVID, you were born in 2010, you would only be 10 years old. So not even junior high. Yeah, so only primary school. And is that going to impact them as a culture, as a generation? Yeah, it will impact them. But it's not part of the psyche, So I think Gen Z, COVID probably would have, would have been big. Do you think they were affected by the Syria, the ISIS and the Arab Spring happening, even though it happened overseas? What about Black Lives Matter and riots and stuff like that? I mean, because when I think of Gen Z, I think, they're in their 20s now. Their generation is just now being impacted by things that are happening. Mumsy says, no, not really. Are bluebirds blue, Chalet says. And Mumsy says, GFC affected the real estate market. Right. And who in Gen Z in 2008, when they were still being born, because it says until 2009, they're not interested in the real estate market. That's baloney. Okay. All right. We covered those kind of things. Cars. So the silent, I'm not even calling them builders, the silent generation, Model T Ford, the baby boomers, the Ford Mustang. Mom, would you say that the Ford Mustang, the 1964 Ford Mustang that came out, would have kind of defined your generation? You know what I would think? I think it should be the Cadillac with the fins on it. Because you were growing up in the 50s. Right? All the 50 styles car, especially with the fins. I mean, the Ford Mustang's right there at the end. Came out the last year that you guys are being born is when the Ford Mustang came out. We were playing with baby boomer stuff. For Gen X, a Holden Commodore 1978. I've never even heard of a Holden Commodore. How can that define our generation? That's ridiculous. Maybe the DeLorean, right? If you wanted to say the DeLorean, because everybody was in, even though we didn't have one, but Back to the Future and all of that, really, kind of defined us. Generation Y, the Toyota Prius. I mean, I could go with that. Yes, all the teenagers were for Mustangs. All right. Mumsy has spoken. The Mustang they did a good choice on that. All righty. This is why all generations are welcome here, even though it's like Gen X is the topic. I appreciate having different generations in here. Toyota Prius. Yeah, everybody started going with hybrids. And then Gen Z, they want the Tesla. They probably do. And the Gen Alpha, by the time they get there into driving, would be autonomous vehicles. Yeah, they're going to have bicycles in their smart city, in their 5-minute smart cities. They're not even going to have vehicles. Yeah. Your dad had a Mustang. My ex and I, we found like a 65 Ford Mustang. Iconic toys, roller skates for the silent generation, the Frisbee for baby boomers. Okay. As far as something that was like new and breakthrough, obviously we've had shows on toys before. But yeah, okay. Frisbee. Mom, oh, wait. You're saying no way for the Frisbee? What toy do you think? I mean, now Rubik's Cube for us, I would say that's fair enough. I mean, we were, that or the pet rock. So Mumsy, get back to, I'm going to keep going, but let us know what you would have instead of the Frisbee. Generation Y, a BMX bike. The car for now generation. Oh, you're saying no way to the autonomous vehicles? Gen Z, the folding scooter. Gen Alpha, the fidget spinner. All right. So music devices. For the silent generation, in LP record player. You know what, Mom? Would you go with audio cassette or would you go with 8-track for the baby boomers? Because 8-track's not on here. And I mean, as Gen X, we definitely used audio cassettes, but yeah, I could go with the Walkman, that we put our cassettes in the Walkman. Okay, I could buy that. Also, boom boxes were big in our generation. And I would say for you, you know what else is the CDs? They totally skipped CDs. Oh my gosh. I think CD has a crossover between Generation X and Generation Y. I think there's some crossover before. I think the Walkman is, okay, yes, cassettes more. Okay. Not everybody had the 8-track. Remember Uncle John, when he had a van, he had an 8-track in his van. And the iPods probably, 2001. When do they say? Remember when so here in the middle between the Walkman and the iPods, you got to have compact discs. I mean, that was like, they had a reign of at least 10 years, at least a decade, if not longer. iPod, Spotify, and the smart speakers. All right. What is this? Leadership style. So the silent generation had a leader on the top that controlled everybody below them. Controlling. And then for baby boomers, their leadership style is directing. So it's still top down, but you're giving people more responsibility to do things themselves. But you're still above them. Whereas Gen X, we tend to be coordinating everything. So now we're controlling, like here. See, there's not arrows, there's solid lines, where we're controlling what we're coordinating, but it's kind of going everything around, not just straight down. All right. Whereas millennials are guiding, so they're in that kind of around, but letting people do what they want. And then supposedly Gen Z, if there's somebody that's a leader, they're just stepping outside and empowering other people, and they expect alphas to be inspiring other people. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. The ideal leader for the silent generation was a commander, strong iron fist commander. For the baby boomers, is to be a thinker. So you think of people like Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr., they were thinkers. That's where it went wrong. Oh, with all these leadership styles? a doer. We don't want to think about stuff too much. We want to just do it, get it done, get her done. For Gen X. For millennials to be a supporter. We got to be a supporter. Yes, that's where it went wrong in the leadership styles. And then they're saying Gen Z is more like a collaborator, and then co-creator is what they're expecting with Alpha. Learning style, very formal for the silent generation. Structured, but not necessarily as formal, but very structured for the baby boomers. They just used two words for the same thing. Didn't really change much, I think. A lot of participation in Gen Z, but we still had clear winners and losers and grades, and there wasn't any of that participation award stuff happening yet. That didn't happen until the millennials. So they say interactive school style for the millennials. Multimodal, that's many different styles, not only just one style, but let's try, audio, visual, tactile, everything. And then virtual, moving to virtual for Gen Alpha. That's scary. Influence advice. So who were our influencers, right? Right now we've got influencers on YouTube and social media. So who were the influencers in the generations? For the silent generation, officials. If someone was an official, you listened to what they said, you didn't question it. You believed it. Whereas baby boomers, they wanted the experts, scientific experts, political experts. If someone's an expert, you want to listen to it. Not necessarily an official with a position. And then practitioners, people that actually do things, that get it done. That kind of goes together with everything. All right. And then millennials, it's the peers. My peer group is the only opinion that matters, the only one I'm going to listen to. For Gen Z forums, I think they're talking about like Reddit and, Facebook or whatever, but online forums. So, and if somebody puts something out there and they read it, they're likely to believe it more than other sources. Oh, and for Gen Z chatbots, it's not even a real thing. I mean, it's not even a real person, a chatbot. That's AI. They're going to just listen to what AI tells them. AI is going to be the official source. Marketing. So it was traditional print, magazines, newspapers for the silent generation. Then, in the 50s, we got TVs, radio. I mean, they had radio, but radio and TV, mass broadcasting for the baby boomers. For Gen X, it's more direct targeted. So we had like catalogs and things. Remember when we would order music, and we did mail order and stuff, but things were targeted directly to the consumer. For millennials, online, linked online. All right, which is somehow different from digital social media for Gen Z. And in situ, real time marketing. Oh, yeah. So you're watching a movie and you like the dress that the person's wearing, and you can just like automatically order that sent to you. It'll all be connected. I mean, they've had that technology for a long time. I mean, I've been here 17 years, and that was something that I knew they had the technology for before I moved to Cambodia. But they haven't really like put it in practice yet. So I guess they're getting up to that happening. All right. So there you go. Was that fun? Did you guys agree, disagree? What are your thoughts? What are some things that you feel impacted you as a generation? Oh, now AI is working against the cheaters. That's good news. It's very interesting, Mummy says. Mumsy. All righty. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. That's why I saved the picture. Thought I'd use it for tonight. Yeah. I wonder what happened to Snow and to Queen and to Andy. Andy left messages last night. I mean, in the comments of last night's video, and saying that he had an appointment, and so he missed it. And he was sad he missed it. So I thought he'd make more of an effort for today, but no, Andy, and Lemoyne, you just kind of dropped out. I hope he's doing all right. And Mabel, unstable Mabel, we miss you. So, all righty. Well, if we don't have anything else to add, we'll just end it here for today. And tomorrow I'll figure out like which photos I'll throw together for a travel vlog tomorrow. And we'll go someplace. It'll be fun. But thank you for joining me tonight. And you know that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you are watching this, I love you. Oh, Mumsy's not going to be on tomorrow. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week, Mumsy. It's always a joy when you're here. And I especially appreciate you as a boomer here in the Gen X show to give us your comparisons, and your insights, and to keep me straight on my memories. All right. You guys have a great day. And I will catch you next time. Bye.